All right, y'all, welcome back. I know I'm a few days late on Flight Risk, but I just went to the movie theater, just saw it right now, so I wanted to give you my thoughts right away and get this review out there. I'm going to play the trailer in the background so you can kind of see a little bit of the movie as it plays, but I'm going to try to make this one very quick, okay? This movie is directed by one of the best directors of all time, Mel Gibson, right? You may remember him from movies like Hacksaw Ridge, Braveheart. You may recognize him from Lethal Weapon, playing one of the most iconic buddy cop characters, Martin Riggs, of all times. He directed The Passion of the Christ, for goodness sake. And I don't know why this movie exists in his timeline. So Mel is a legend, right? And obviously Mark Wahlberg has a slate of pretty darn good movies. He's got some stinkers in there, but I know him and Mel are friends, and just looking through this movie, just watching this movie. Look, Hacksaw Ridge, Apocalypto, Mel Gibson directed a movie where it was like a foot chase through the jungle, where nobody even spoke English, and he still created something really special with people that couldn't even understand him, right? So Mel Gibson obviously has the chops to direct an incredible movie. And I just can't figure out what the idea was with this was, okay? I'm just going to pause this here, and I want to go over to IMDb real quick. So here's our cast. We have Michelle Dockery, Topher Grace, Mark Wahlberg. These are the three that you're going to see 95% of the movie. And I literally mean 95% of the movie, because that's where this takes place, is on an airplane, a small airplane. It's only a 3-seater. The whole rest of it's cleared out, and there's not a lot there, but there's maybe another 10 or 15 feet in the back with a cargo net. That's it. That's the whole airplane. So you're on a very small airplane for the entire movie, stuck there with 3 people. And other than just the first scene, which is about 4 minutes, and then the last scene, which is about 4 minutes, you are on this little tiny airplane. So unless you loved Snakes on a Plane, or unless you loved the movie Airplane, this probably is going to feel claustrophobic and is probably not going to resonate with you. I think there was a movie, wasn't there a movie where somebody was in a coffin the whole time? It was like literally they were, I think it was Ryan Reynolds was in a coffin, buried alive or something. I don't remember. The point is that looking at Mel Gibson's career as an actor slash director, and then looking at this movie, I just don't know why it existed. So I did a little bit of digging, and I looked at the writer, who's Jaron Rosenberg. Now, if you don't recognize this name, hold on, let me go widescreen here. Let me go full screen here. It's because he's never done anything before. Okay, now I understand I've never done any big blockbuster hits before, right? So, but let's just look real quick. I've written a lot more films than this. So he wrote Flight Risk, and he wrote a movie in development called Driver, or a TV miniseries, and he was an editor on Money for Nothing, which I have never seen. It's got decent reviews, 7.3. I don't know if that's good, but that was in 2013. He edited one movie in 2013. This guy has no career. So I'm just failing to see the connection of how this script got into Mel Gibson's hand, and then he said, yeah, I want to direct that. Because the movie is supposed to be a thriller, and there are a few jump scares, and there's a few shock, like gotcha moments. But other than that, it's really a confusing movie. There's some very weird comedy, because Mark Wahlberg, I think, ad-libs probably about 40-50% of his lines, which keeps the movie lively, but it's mostly just gross innuendos, and honestly, kind of soulless garbage. Like, the dialogue is not very good. The acting is really bad. Let's look at the cast real quick here, because this was surprising to me. So Michelle Dockery and Topher Grace, they didn't have much to work with. They carried most of this film. Now she does talk on comms with a couple of other people, right? There's a character, Hassan, in the movie that she talks to, and Janine, right? But most of the movie is just these two people, and then occasionally Mark Wahlberg sprinkling in bunch of ridiculous personality in this movie. But it's 90 minutes of I am trying to watch people on a tiny airplane that's probably smaller than my office. It is smaller than my office. So it just really doesn't go anywhere, literally, other than off of the Alaskan coast. That's it. I mean, the whole movie is them flying towards an airport in Anchorage. And really not a whole lot of stuff happens, y'all. There is a little bit of character development, so I will give them credit where credit is due. And look, if you know anything about me, you know I love Mel Gibson. I think he's one of the best ever. Academy Award winning multiple times. This dude is a savage. He's made some of the best movies ever. This is not one of them. And I just can't figure out why it was made. Was it a favor? Was it a cash grab? Again, I'm not trying to say that that's what it was, but it's just what it seemed like. So, you know, this is a hard 4 out of 10. This is below average. It's almost a confused movie. It doesn't know if it's a thriller. It doesn't know if it's supposed to be funny. It doesn't really know what it is. There's a ton of really bad CGI and comping. If you don't know what comping is, it's when you composite different scenes together to make a scene. They're literally like the first scene. It was like jarring how CGI or AI, the first scene that you see, the camera kind of pans down, or it doesn't pan, it tilts down through some snow falling, and then there's a sign, and then there's a cabin. That looks 100% AI driven. It looked like it was CGI, and I would be shocked if it wasn't CGI. And then there's a moose, very poorly done. Looks like CGI. It looks like they went on Fiverr and they said, "Hey, make me a CGI moose, make me a CGI scene," and that's what happened. And the acting was just weird and wonky and didn't match, didn't fit. Wait for streaming, y'all. If you really want to see this, if you love Mel, you love Mark, if you love Topher or Michelle or someone, see this when it comes on streaming. I hate to say that. I love going to the movies to watch movies, but this really is probably not worth your time and your money. Sorry to say that, Mark. Sorry to say that, Mel. I think you guys are great. However, this was not your movie. And I don't really know why this was made. It's kind of a weird script for Mel to go from all these epics and all these really meaningful movies, and he's in production on Passion of the Christ 2, and then he makes this out of nowhere. So I don't really get it. Kind of a weird movie. Didn't really laugh. I was shocked like one time, a little jump scare, but didn't laugh. Didn't really have much emotion at all, other than, why did I just spend $5 on this? But that's it for me. Let me know what you think if you saw it in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.